Happy New Year to everyone. I hope that everyone has had a great holiday season and are ready to face the new year 2023. I know that December was a pretty busy month for me between preparing for and celebrating the holidays, kids starting sports, and illnesses running through the family. While there was plenty of good going on, there was also some less positive things going on as well, so it made for a somewhat overwhelming feeling month at times. Even with everything going on during the month, there wound up being quite a bit of time to play some games this month. So let's take a look at what I played in the last month of 2022. I wound up completing 3 games this month. Honestly, this was more than I thought I would get done this month, but I'm not going to complain about getting games completed. So let's see what games I completed this month. The first game is Katamari Damacy Reroll. Early on in December, I was finally able to get 100% of the items collected in the game, which unlocked my final trophy for the game and gave me the platinum. A lot of my time with this game this month was to try to catch the biggest bear, as it was the final item I needed to get everything finished up. But it was on a somewhat difficult and frustrating level. It was one where if you got any bear, the round ended, so you had to avoid all the other bears and get the biggest one to finish out the level. And I did eventually get it and was rewarded with my 88th platinum and another completed game. While I did enjoy the craziness of Katamari Damacy and have a lot of fun with that game, I'm also glad to have this game finished up and not having to go and try to find all the little items that I still needed. The second game is Brawlhalla. I finally got my last level 25 legend for the trophy that I've been trying to get for quite a while, and after that, I decided to be done with Brawlhalla. In an odd twist of fate, Brawlhalla also decided to add some more trophies via one of its updates during the month, but I'm not going to bite on that. Brawlhalla trophies lean too much toward the grindy, and while I like lots of things about fighting games, I'm not really very good at them, and I'm just kind of ready to move on from Brawlhalla. So I'm kind of adding that to my completed game list, and I probably won't be going back to that ever, or if not ever, then for a very long time. And the third game is Our Life Beginnings and Always. I was able to complete a story playthrough through this game. I just really enjoyed my time with Our Life Beginnings and Always. It was a game you could find yourself laughing at one minute and getting kind of choked up and emotional over the next. It just was this very delightful little slice of life visual novel, and it's definitely a game I would add to my favorites list after playing through it once. Expect a review coming later in the month, and don't be surprised if this shows up on the list again in the future, as I doubt I'm done with this game. I want to try out some different options and see how the story will change. While I enjoyed how things went overall, I am curious to see if I can get some different outcomes with another playthrough. I'm not sure if I'd put this as an endless game though, so it might just pop up in the story section again, although I may not play it quite as much as I did with this playthrough and kind of dedicate myself to doing it. I might just play it kind of a little bit here and there at times if that time comes anytime soon. So don't be surprised to see this again, and I definitely really do enjoy this game quite a little bit. A lot of my month was focused on 2 story games, but since I was able to finish Our Life Beginning and Always this month, I was able to replace it with a new game for this category. And the first is Jak and Daxter. Now this is a carryover from last month and the other game that I've been pretty focused on getting through in December. I'm really close to the end of the game and will hopefully wrap this up early on in January. I think that I'm at like 90% finished, so I'm hoping that I can finish the game and get the platinum for the game by the end of the month, and I think that's a very doable thing. I can definitely tell why Jak and Daxter became a well-known series of games, but going back to it now, it definitely does not have the smoothest controls. Between a weird PS2 controller setup with some inverted controls and moves that just feel a little stiff, it just doesn't hold up as well as it could have. It really makes me wonder why they didn't tweak some of these things when re-releasing it. I think that was a missed opportunity because I think with a bit more work, this would have really shined. I'm still enjoying it, but like the flaws are just pretty obvious also. So we'll see how it all winds up ending for me this month. The second game is Vault of the Void. This game is what I replaced Our Life Beginnings and Always with. Vault of the Void is a roguelike deck builder, and I'm honestly not sure if this fits better in the story category or the endless category of games. It seems like it has some kind of campaign, but there doesn't really seem to be any story. I may just have to play it a bit more to see where it fits since I have an abundance of endless games kind of being added this month. I don't think it'll hurt to stick it here for this month. It may wind up moving over to endless next month, but we'll see as I get a little bit more time with it. I have enjoyed my time with the game though, even though I don't know quite where to categorize it. I think this is my first roguelike deck builder that I've ever ever played, so it may just be that I don't really have anything to kind of compare it to and see whether I think it's good or not, but I am enjoying my time with it. We'll see how it holds up after a little bit more time. I could see a game like this maybe kind of getting stale or having some things that crop up, maybe difficulty spikes or something like that, but I think after the end of January, I'll probably get a better sense of whether I really like it or whether it's like, I see some more flaws in it or not. Now I'm moving to the category I call endless games. These are basically games that have no set ending. Examples of this would be online PvP games, arcade style games, party games, mobile style games, or creative and sandbox style of games. I feel like I added a bunch of games to this list in December, but I was able to record footage for a couple of games that I had been playing on mobile for a while and then decided to add them to the list this month. So that's kind of where a lot of my additions come from. The first is Fortnite. As usual, Fortnite makes an appearance here. Chapter 4 Season 1 started this month, which brought a new map. It kind of seems to have like a medieval focus. It has some like kind of castle structures going on around the map, but there's also some more modern places, so it's not fully medieval, but it's just kind of a little bit medieval. There has been no shortage of things to do this season between exploring the new map, playing around with new weapons like the Shockwave Hammer or the Excalibur Rifle, having a My Hero Academia crossover that kind of fizzled near the end as they disabled and never added back the special move that got added for the crossover. And of course, one of the highlight events of the year, Winterfest, which gives you, the opportunity to get some free skins, free cosmetics, and is just kind of fun to play around with. Now, so far, I've enjoyed the new chapter. The map does maybe feel a bit empty of named locations, but that's something that may change as we move into new seasons. I know sometimes at the beginning of a chapter that has happened before, and it gets developed out as we move along. The second game in the endless category is Bloons TD6. Here is another game that has become a game I regularly play each month. Bloons TD6 is another game that just gets played by the whole family, kind of like Fortnite. We play this co-op as a family. We work together on an event called Contested Territories in-game, and I even occasionally play this on my own to try to get mastery on maps or do some of the other events. Like for December, I played some of the Odysseys to get some trophies for the in-game trophy shop that had some seasonal kind of cosmetics that you could get, and so I did do that a little bit. It's really kind of crazy when you think about balloons, how much fun a game involving monkeys defending against balloons can really be. It's just kind of one of those weird concepts that just winds up being very entertaining. Third, we have Jackbox Party Pack 3 and 4. So I'm combining two games here because while there are different mini games in these party packs, they are similar enough that I'm just going to combine them for my list. We played each of these once this month, and as always, had a good time. It's just kind of a fun party game to play with the family. It was our first time playing Party Pack 4. For Party Pack 3, we played Gaspionage, Quiplash 2, and Faking It. In Party Pack 4, we played Survive the Internet, which I think was the favorite of the ones we tried, Monster Seeking Monster, and Civic Doodle. We have a couple that we haven't played yet in this one, but we had fun with the games we tried out. Again, these are just kind of fun group games to kind of play as long as you've got a tablet or a phone for each person. It's just a lot of fun to do. And even with Party Pack 4, there wasn't really anything that you needed to worry about like family friendly mode or anything like that. Number 4 is Cookie Run Kingdom. Now here's a new addition to the list, or at least a kind of sort of new addition to the list. It's new to the list, but technically I have been playing it on my phone for quite a while. But I don't really like recording stuff on my phone to stick in videos, so when I found that this game was a part of the PC version of Google Play Games beta, I tried it out and recorded a bit of it to add to this video. It's still not the best quality, but I feel like it's better than trying to record stuff on my phone. Maybe that's just kind of a personal thing. But Cookie Run Kingdom is a gacha style game involving various types of living cookies with different abilities. You collect these cookies and then level and upgrade them to battle in various modes like the campaign, arena, daily bounties, and other things like that are pretty common to the gacha style team building type games. You also build a base where you produce items and you can use to gain money and upgrade materials for your cookies and buildings. Personally, I really enjoy it. I mean, it is a gacha game, so it's definitely a game that has its flaws and setbacks, and it's not a game that everyone's going to enjoy, but I do enjoy my time with Cookie Run Kingdom. The fifth game is Marvel Snap. Now, this is another game that I started a couple months ago on mobile, but when I figured out it was also on Steam, I downloaded it there to capture some footage. Marvel Snap is a card battling game where you build decks of 12 cards to go head-to-head against another player and try to have more power at 2 of the 3 locations that are in each match. So you're trying to get higher power totals at each of these locations, and if you win 2 of the 3, you win the match. Now, I've been enjoying this game quite a bit. It has a pretty fair monetization and gives you the ability to gain most of the cards without spending money. I mean, I think all the cards are actually available without money. Spending money is mainly to get a card early via like the season pass, which also gives you other rewards other than the early access to a card, or to gain variant artwork for your cards. While I like this, I admit there is a part of me that is a bit worried about the long-term viability of the game, like how much money is really going to be brought just by variants and season pass, maybe more than what I would imagine, but yeah, I just kind of worry about that for like long term. But I'm enjoying it in the moment, and I guess that's going to be good enough for me. And I'll just hope that it kind of keeps up and either doesn't run out of people to make cards out of, or just kind of doesn't really make as much money as they think it will with the style that they are going with. And the last endless game of the month was Terraria. My kids were off on break with Christmas, and we were able to play a little bit of our world that we created over the summer. I feel like we were progressing fairly well in it. When we played, we were able to take out a few mechanical bosses with really very little problem. There were maybe like one or two people who died in trying to fight them, but we never completely wiped, which is great. And so this helped us gain some extra upgrades and some extra materials and got another bump in our power even more. So that was really good. I've also been working on a kind of a jungle farm to start getting some life fruit. And then I added some chlorophyte farms, which is like kind of a late game ore. So hopefully that grows. It grows kind of like a grass or things like that would. So it's kind of cool. And I'm hoping that I'll be able to get some of that producing and be able to upgrade even better. And Terraria, it's just one of those games, like I don't play it super often. Like I often find like playing it by myself, it gets lost in the shuffle of all the other games I'm trying to play. But it's always really fun and I enjoy playing it. And it's even more fun when you're playing it with family most of the time. And there's just so much you can do in it, and it provides hours and hours of entertainment. Like Terraria is just one of those games, like if it was like the only game I had to play, I'd probably be able to play quite a little bit before I really got too tired of it. So finally, we have the games I'm working on trophies or achievements for. I may not get all the trophies in these games, but these are games that I'm working on at the moment. I feel like this category is pretty slim this month, as I completed Katamari Damacy and Brawlhalla this month, and was also really focused on trying to get through some of my story games. Gems of War is the first and only game on this trophy list. I've mainly been focused on two areas with Gems of War. Kind of the beginning of the month, I focused on delves, and then as we kind of moved to later in the month, there was a Christmas event that came out called Crinklemas, and I really kind of focused on that because they had certain things you could try to earn points for by fighting battles, and then you'd be able to use those points to buy things from the store. So I was able to kind of get some fun, not all of it was seasonal, but I was able to get some fun rewards for that. And even though I didn't really gain any new trophies this month, I've been having some fun playing through the game and getting closer to some of the trophies, leveling up my count, because I think some of the trophies are getting to certain level, like achievements like 500 and 1,000, and I think I'm maybe at 400 or getting really close to 400. So I've got a little ways to go. But as I say, I enjoy playing this game. It's not a game that I spend a lot of time on each day or over a week even, but I do play it somewhat regularly and enjoy my time with it. So that's what my December in games has looked like. I was really happy with how this month turned out. I was able to complete 3 games and play a number of story and endless games, both by myself and with my family in the midst of a fairly busy month. I can't really ask for more than that. While I was kind of right that some of the games that are normally on my list, like Overcooked All You Could Eat Edition, didn't quite make the list this month, I imagine it'll probably pop up again next month as long as we stay healthy and things don't get too crazy busy in January. Overall, though, I still had a great month of games and a great end to the year. What about you? What did you play last month? Have you played new releases, old favorites, or have you been working on your backlog of games? Did you maybe get some games for Christmas or the holidays that you tried out? I'd love to hear what you've been playing in the comments. Whatever you've been playing, I hope that you've been having a lot of fun playing. I hope everyone had a great holiday season and that the new year is starting out great for everyone out there. But that's all for my list this month, so we'll see you next time.